How can different people be affected by the same amount of alcohol? To understand how different people can be affected differently by the same amount of alcohol, we need to break it up and understand these subsections. What is alcohol? The alcohol we consume is a drug called ethyl alcohol or ethanol and is produced by the fermentation of yeast, sugars and starches. It is the most widely used recreational drug and is a central nervous system depressant, with the ethanol found in alcoholic beverages being the intoxicating ingredient found in drinks such as beer, wine and liquor. What variables are involved in how alcohol affects you? There are many different factors that play a part in how you are affected by alcohol and how much it takes to affect you. The main variables include weight, the amount of fat or muscle, gender, age, the speed of your metabolism, what other medication or drugs are in your system, other chemicals in the drink, how fast you drink, the amount of food in your system, drinking history, tolerance to alcohol, physical health, mental health and emotional state. What is the recommended amount of alcohol to be consumed? Whilst the safest and healthiest option is to not consume alcohol, the recommended number of standard drinks is said to be 2 to 3 for a healthy adult female and 3 to 4 for a healthy adult male. Despite this figure, it is stated by the Australian Government of National Health and Medical Research Council, or NHMRC, that it is recommended that for healthy men and women, no more than 2 standard drinks are consumed on any one day to reduce the risk of lifetime harm, and no more than 4 standard drinks to reduce the risk of alcohol-related injury from that occasion. For adolescent males and females, it is advised by the NHMRC in Guideline 3 that the safest option is to delay the initiation of drinking for as long as possible. What is a standard drink? A standard drink is a drink that contains 14 grams of pure alcohol, or 0.6 ounces, with how it is taken or what is taken with not being taken into account. What are the risks and dangers of consuming alcohol? The biggest danger of consuming alcohol is overconsumption or binge drinking. By overconsuming alcohol, you put yourself at risk of major issues including alcohol poisoning, cancer and brain damage. As well as this, there are the slightly less severe typical effects of alcohol, of which are to be later stated. Due to alcohol being a central nervous system depressant, it causes impaired judgment and decreased perception. This in turn makes you more vulnerable to things such as sexual assault and making regrettable decisions like becoming violent, depending on your reaction to alcohol. What are the potential long and short-term effects of alcohol? There are 2 types of effects of alcohol, long-term and short-term. The short-term effects are effects that are temporary and don't last more than a couple of days. Short-term effects include alcohol poisoning, anemia, blackouts, blurred vision, breathing difficulties, coma, decreased perception and coordination, diarrhea, distorted vision and hearing, drowsiness, flushed appearance, headache, hangover, injuries associated with falls, accidents, violence and intentional self-harm, intense mood swings, lack of coordination, loss of inhibitions and a false sense of confidence, motor accidents, nausea and vomiting, reduced concentration, slower reflexes, slurred speech, ulcers, unconsciousness, an upset stomach, vomiting and nausea. Long-term effects, however, are permanent and include alcohol dependency, alcohol-related brain injury or damage, cancers, concentration and long-term memory problems, family/relationship problems, gastritis, heart disease, intentional injuries from firearms, sexual assaults or domestic violence, legal or financial difficulties, liver damage and failure, malnutrition, nerve damage, poor work performance, sexual reproduction problems, skin problems, stomach-related issues, unintentional injuries from car crashes, falls, burns or drowning, vitamin B1 deficiency. Why does alcohol affect adolescents more than adults? Alcohol affects adolescents more than adults because as adolescents are younger and are still developing, they generally have a lower body mass of fat and muscle. Their brain is still developing, they are less mature and are therefore at higher risk of abuse, more likely to make regrettable decisions. As well as this, there is also peer pressure. So, how can different people be affected by the same amount of alcohol? Different people are affected differently by the same amount of alcohol because there are a variety of factors and variables with regard to the individual and their current situation, which, when added to a specific amount of alcohol, results in different behaviours and reactions.